Are you confident the bottle you're mixing can't harbor heat-resistant bacteria that survive the safe steps you've been told to follow?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're looking at new evidence that powdered infant formula isn't sterile, that timing and temperature matter more than vague boil and wait directions, and that ingredient risks, from seed oils to heavy metals, should factor into how you feed your baby. I'm Ethan, and I'll guide the conversation.
I'm Alara Skye. This episode is about practical safety. Studies show powdered infant formula can carry spore-forming organisms like Bacillus cereus and opportunists like Chronobacter, and some survive typical prep. Even after pasteurization and manufacturing safeguards, contamination can occur during processing or at home, especially when water isn't hot enough at the moment you mix, or when machines and equipment add their own microbial load.
The first truth you need is that powdered formula isn't sterile. Researchers found microbes in products mixed at room temperature, and even when using water heated to 70 degrees Celsius, with the heaviest contamination coming from at-home preparation machines. Running sterile water through some devices still produced microbial growth, suggesting internal filters can introduce or harbor organisms that wind up in your baby's bottle.
The second truth is about how you use heat. Agencies often say boil and cool, but that's imprecise. What matters is contact between sufficiently hot water and the powder for long enough to reduce pathogens. Cornell researchers recommend you control the temperature directly. Bring water to a boil, pour into the bottle, and when it cools to about 74 degrees Celsius, 165 degrees Fahrenheit, add the powder and let it sit 1 full minute before you begin cooling.
That specificity targets heat-resistant threats. Bacillus cereus spores tolerate drying and brief boiling, then reactivate in warm, nutrient-rich milk. Levels drop at 65 degrees Celsius and above, yet viable cells have been detected even after 100 degrees Celsius exposure, though far fewer. By hitting 74 degrees Celsius at mixing and holding for a minute, you reduce survival of dangerous strains such as Chronobacter far more reliably than guessing by time alone.
Even correctly mixed formula becomes unsafe quickly at room temperature. Once feeding starts, bacteria from your baby's mouth seed the bottle and multiply fast. That's why leftovers after a feeding should be discarded. The warm, sweet environment inside a bottle is ideal for growth, so safe preparation must be paired with safe handling, or you negate the benefit you achieved with proper heat.
At-home formula machines are a growing risk point. Roughly half of parents now use them, yet a large share fail to deliver water at the required temperature. Worse, some units add contamination from internal components. If you rely on a machine, you still need a thermometer to verify output, or you should bypass the heating function and follow the controlled temperature method by hand to protect your child.
Hygiene completes the safety chain. Wash your hands before touching bottles or powder. Clean bottles, nipples, and rings in hot soapy water with dedicated brushes, then air dry on a clean rack. Don't towel dry, because towels trap moisture and bacteria. Sterilize feeding parts daily in early infancy to disrupt biofilms that resist soap and water, and store dry equipment and sealed formula in a clean, closed space.
Keep the scoop dry and inside the can, and avoid exposing the interior to steam or splashes. Wash bottles and nipples immediately after each use. Use separate brushes for bottles and nipples. Air dry rather than wiping. Sterilize daily early on. Store gear and formula in a closed cabinet, and never let the scoop get wet. These simple steps cut down the places microbes can hide and multiply between feedings.
Safety isn't only microbiology. Ingredients matter. Many formulas contain industrial seed oils rich in linoleic acid, which the article flags for links to inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. Independent testing has also reported heavy metals, lead, cadmium, arsenic, manganese, in multiple brands, and mycotoxins from molds can appear in products, bringing carcinogenic and immunosuppressive concerns during a critical window of brain and immune development.
There have been recalls tied to contamination. One example involved chronobacter concerns, underscoring that powdered products can fail safety checks even before they reach your kitchen. These events are rare, but the stakes are high for newborns, preemies, infants under 2 months, and immunocompromised babies. Precision with temperature, timing, and hygiene is your most dependable barrier at home.
You may be wondering whether breastfeeding changes this landscape. Breast milk remains the gold standard. It delivers human milk oligosaccharides that feed beneficial bacteria, strengthen defenses, and support brain and immune development into toddlerhood. Evidence links breastfeeding to lower risks of allergies, SIDS, certain infections and cancers, and neurodevelopmental issues, while benefits also extend to mothers, including faster recovery and reduced cancer risk.
Breast milk contains molecules like myoinositol that support synapse formation during the months when learning and memory networks are rapidly wiring. HMOs also appear to influence long-term metabolic health by shaping gut microbes and calming inflammation, with signals pointing toward protection against obesity, type 2 diabetes, and allergic disease. These are advantages manufacturers still cannot fully replicate.
Not every family can exclusively breastfeed. When breast milk isn't an option or isn't sufficient, the article advises avoiding commercial products and instead preparing a homemade formula using raw milk, with guidance on milk selection and recipes from Sarah Pope. If milk proteins aren't tolerated, a hypoallergenic version is also described. The emphasis is on informed choice and precise preparation for safety.
So, how do you apply all this today? If you use powdered formula, adopt the thermometer-based method. Boil, pour, wait until 74 degrees Celsius. Add powder, hold 1 minute, then cool to feeding temperature. Verify any machine with a thermometer, or skip the machine heat entirely. Treat mixed formula as perishable. Discard leftovers after feeding. Follow the hygiene checklist every time, and store equipment and powder, dry and sealed.
If breastfeeding is viable, seek support to establish and sustain it, knowing you're providing HMOs and other protective compounds that formulas can't match. If it isn't, review the article's guidance on homemade raw milk formulas and hypoallergenic alternatives, understand the specific temperature and handling steps, and prioritize ingredient quality to minimize exposure to seed oils, heavy metals, and mycotoxins.
Here's your challenge. For your very next bottle, use a food thermometer and the 74 degrees Celsius 1 minute hold. Then audit your prep routine against the 6-point hygiene checklist and discard any post-feeding leftovers without exception. If you're considering feeding changes, take one concrete step today. Book lactation support or gather the essentials for a safer homemade formula plan. Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.